They follow the steps of our fathers, because that is what they have seen them do. Like he said, it's not about me telling you, but what you see. Like he said, you're a parent, you're a mother, your children, what you do, they see. Thank you. So now, these are also the few ones among the youths. They see this and they copy that, and that is the reason why we are here where we are. I welcome the bill, but the question is, are we ready as the youth in this nation?
Okay, that's looking at that. What's on the screen right now, we're looking at the signing of the bill. Is a short video on the signing of the not too young to run bill, where the president assented to it and all that. And I saw that it was sponsored by one of the people 24 House of Assemblies, State House of Assemblies, to assent to it before it goes to the president.
What he didn't know, the young man didn't know.
Okay, you mean Samuel Itobo, the guy?
Yes,
who,
yes. What he didn't factor in or remember is that why I do not condemn his effort and all. I think it's laudable. What he didn't realize is that from the place where we borrowed this democracy, plus the people who hosted this democracy on us, what he didn't remember, and what I need us to all remember is that if you go back to their own place, the United States, young people, what do? When you declare to run a presidency, young people in the United States, they go to the different camps. You have people supporting Trump, you have people supporting Mrs. Clinton, you have people supporting Mr. Bush and all that. They're volunteers. So when you see them come on TV, like we're on TV, you will see former supporter or former aide, because that's how they learn the nitty-gritty, learn the ropes and all that.
And that is missing in our own system.
Not only is it missing, they contribute. They want $1 or quarter. And get up and say, I want to become a... Look at Ted Cruz. Who I check his antecedent. How he supported Bush and all the activities he has played in Texas and in Florida before he got to the house. That culture is not here. Our culture here, you know what it's all about? The money. So you
bring the money?
Yeah, sharing the money.
Push the person.
And the problem is the oil that we have. In any nation where you have an extractive industry, what we have here, the confusion we have here, all the killings that we have here, all the confusion that we have here, whether it's in Liberia, whether it's in Sierra Leone, whether it's in Venezuela, go and check in any country on the surface of this earth where you have to go and extract something, whether it's in Cote d'Ivoire, go and check it. It is the countries that don't have resources that have peace. The other place where you have oil and extractive industry is Russia.
Iraq.
But you know what they did? They have confronted the Americans and told them, we don't want your democracy. And they fought Clinton for coming to that place to come and make the speech he made condemning Putin for rigging the election. As far as they are concerned, they are not interested in their wholesale democracy. Look, election just aired in China a few months ago. They locked up members of their political party in one room for a few days, gave the mandate to their premier, the current premier, to rule them for life. They are making progress. The youths of those nations, their mentality is to go all over the world and conquer the world economically and technologically.
Yes. Taking a cue from that, the youths from all over the world. Let's look at the United States, for example. We seem to have copied so much what is happening in the US. We've copied their democracy. We've copied the violence. You know, the freedom of speech. Fine, beautiful. We all like to speak. I'm a wife, and I tell my husband I must have my say. You know, we all say that, but I look at it. Your
mother didn't teach you that?
No, actually, my mother didn't. That's true. And my mother
and she had peace with her husband.
True, very true, and raised us well. You know, it so happens that as we copy and we imbibe these things, I have a very question. Let me say, impression about what it is. It's as if we just do you want to write an exam, you just lift it and you just drop it. Absolutely no understanding of what it is. Absolutely. You don't look at the front, you don't look at the back, you don't look at the antecedent, you're not concerned about the extreme issues that may come up as a result of these things that we copy. And we keep having parents send their children to the UK, to the US, to the West. They keep going to the West. Now, the culture they bring in, they come here, they interact with their friends, and then it becomes the next generation's trend.
Absolutely.
Am I correct?
Very well.
Becomes the next trend. But in the communist nations, it's a totally different thing. They have, it's as if the government schools them from the school. The school they go to tells them, you must add value to your society.
Absolutely.
Tells them, you must bring this. You must affect, you must contribute your own quota to what is happening. Can that system work in Nigeria? That's my question, Mr. Lainga.
One, Mandela said, and I'll quote, any nation that wants to prosper, its citizen must be educated. Bringing that to Nigeria, how many percentage of our population that is educated?
Okay, let me ask a question. You said educated. Now,
Yeah.
I have a very funny way of viewing education in Nigeria.
Education is
For
not by
me,
school.
Thank you.
education
It's
is
not the wall.
school.
I'm not talking about the
Exactly.
wall of the university.
Exactly.
That's not what I mean by
Exactly.
education. And I'm sure you understand that. I'm
Exactly.
very sure our
So I want
viewers
us to
also
be
understand
clear
that it's
about
not just about the
education.
wall of the institutions. No.
Thank you, sir.
When we talk about education, we're talking about knowledge. They said knowledge is power. In our among our youth, we pick from the Western world. We come here and okay, like for instance, sorry, let me just bring in this in. For instance, everywhere you see divorce here and there, single parent, single mother, single father. In Nigeria today, is a trend.
It's
Now,
fashionable.
you pick that from the Western world.
Yes.
But you know the truth. Anytime, check it. Anytime, probably the Queen Elizabeth, the family, whatever they are having any occasions, check the people they invite.
Yes, people who, family units, families.
So meaning they have family values. So when we then come to say no, well, no, it is not. No, it's not, because they have family values. So because some people are doing it, then you pick the wrong ones. Now another question I always ask again: is democracy working for us? Yes, let's say it's 20 years. Let's say it's 20 years. A child that is 20 years in Nigeria contest. Sometimes I listen to some 25.
And you're wondering.
And I ask myself, where are we going?
And you're wondering.
And these are the people that want to take over. We call them the future of the country. At 25, nothing reasonable can come out from your mouth. You can't even reason. You can't even, bring out anything tangible to the table at 25. Now, back to the democracy at 20. So it's very possible that our democracy may also be in line of the Nigerian context of the youth. Why? You copy democracy. Did you copy the ideology behind the democracy when you copy that? Today, Trump is there. Everybody complaining about Trump. People are still talking. And Trump has not picked up anyone that said anything against him. Maybe in his cabinet he fires and hire and all that, but outside his cabinet, I don't think he has arrested the Beyonce, he has arrested the Jay-Z and all those people talking.
Let me give you this. One particular woman, I listened to an interview on BBC at Talk where a particular woman held, she's a comedian, she held something Griffin. She held the bearded, she had a hair, the graffiti of Trump's head. And the woman has been victimized by practically everybody in the US.
Okay.
She said she cannot enter the US. They locked her up for months. Her family is under, and practically every country she goes to that has a relation with, she has to be detained for a couple of hours before she's released.
Is a woman an American?
She's an American.
That trend? Because
she's an American.
Well, maybe that's just one out of many.
Mr. Olanyika might not know that in the United States, when Trump became president, or even before he became the president, don't forget that he's a political no fight. He's a nobody when it comes to
politics.
Yeah.
He just got motivated that it's possible. All he wanted to do was become the mayor of
prove,
New York.
Exactly.
And one day just realized that he found out the cost. I said, the same cost to be. So he went into it. Since that election, when he became president, George Bush has been quiet. Clinton has been quiet.
Yes.
Hillary has been quiet.
Yes.
Beyonce has been quiet.
Yes.
Come to Nigeria, what do you have? Destructive elites who are just look. This president that we have has not had time to do any creative thinking. You know why? From inception, you have somebody who wants to be president of Senate. He went to go and sleep in the car so that he can jump into the place and bring himself to be president. We are a very destructive. We live in a very destructive environment. The army general, Trump defeated both Beyonce, Nollywood, name them. The little disruptions that he has right now, when anybody he replies you, whatever you want to do, he will reply.
He just talks.
because those things are not even destructive.
No, he's good with making clear.
But let me say,
talks. People talks. And because people talk, all it does is to reply whoever that says anything.
Of course,
but he never picked them. He never shut them down.
Because they are not destructive.
Because they're not.
Thank you. That is the point I am making. But we don't have that here.
Here, people already have made up their mind.
And these people you are talking about have not stolen American money because they don't even have the money.
Yes, and they are creating problems. You know.
Here we are destructive. Here, a president of America is sitting down and saying, "This is what we are going to do." I mean, he's not a popular person to a lot of people, but if you go to my Facebook page, you will see his pictures. You went to my page, you see, because from inception, I have seen the hands of God in that guy's life. He is not a perfect person. God never uses perfect people.
True.
He has never, from inception, he has never looked at someone and said, "Oh, you are such a good guy," including, and say, "Come, let me use you." But what do we have here? You have people who, they don't work. They live in big mansions. I have one of them in my family. His name is Ned. He has never lifted a finger, and I hope he's watching, to earn a living. All he does is write proposals, fake proposals. He doesn't even